Hello, everybody. I'm just here to let you know, as a little heads up, a heads down, I guess. No new episode last week. That's my bad. But here's this episode. Enjoy.
Where am I? Fuck, dude.
Crack open a cold one. It's a new episode of Bad Boy Crimes.
Look, I literally, when I got home, I was like, I should crack open a nice pinky up, great visual bit for the folks at home. I was literally going to be like, oh yeah, I have some Trulies. I'm going to get those. And then I completely forgot. Can I go run and get one? If you just want to like riff it out, we could do it.
I will riff it out while you get an alcohol.
Sweet. Yeah. Good drinking at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a normal time to drink. What am I talking about?
That's fine. Good to leave
immediately
at the start of a podcast to do the bit that we do.
Well, it's better than me drinking at like 10 a.m.
I guess.
Margin. So,
go get your drink, and I will riff.
All right, fine.
I will vamp. The Dracularity of the podcast, I am vamping right now. Check this out. I went back into the archives into a Patreon episode. Shout out the Patreon. And in that episode, I was killing it with bits in that episode, and Coach was shutting me down.
What? First of all, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about a Patreon episode that I listened to last night.
Okay.
I've never
Patreon that nobody has access to.
Yeah. I mean, you could right now is the best time to subscribe because you can subscribe and look at all the content and you're not being charged. But I have the direct feed into my podcast app. Mm-hmm. And I ran out of podcasts.
Now just edit those together like we did that last time.
Nobody liked that bit. Yes, if you subscribe to the Patreon right now, there's 800 episodes on there, all free.
I think there might be 8 episodes on there.
No, it's kind of a lot. I don't know how many, but
like 20? I don't know.
Yeah, I would say around 20. We did it for a little while.
Shout out to the Doug Zone for burdening themselves with having to record twice a week.
I think they just do 1 2-hour slot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which I think is
it's probably the better way to do it. Yeah, but I don't know because I don't like it when other podcasts do that, and I'm not going to name names, but we know exactly. I only listen to like 2 podcasts, and it's not the Doug Zone that I'm referencing here. Yeah, I don't like it when you take an episode and then we're like, we're going to have the fun back half in the paid section, and it feels like I'm just getting half of one long episode instead of getting like 2 distinct things. And at least the way the Doug Zone does it is that the free episodes are about Doug. Presumably,
yeah.
And the back half is the non-Doug Zone, where it's about No I and Threesome, which I was grinding my teeth listening to that today.
It's an uncomfortable.
I was really genuinely upset because I could have made some wrong choices earlier in my life and ended up exactly in the scenario Ollie found. I was just sitting there. I was like, is this guy even alive anymore? Like, how do you not? I guess you have to be pretty evil. I mean, which not to spoil the episode. Go subscribe to the Doug Zone Patreon, folks. But you have to be a bad kind of person to like release that documentary in the first place. Like, go through, you film it, you do other stuff going into the production of it. I'm not going to spoil it. You edit it, you release it, and you have to go through all of that and be like, yeah, this is good. So there's got to be a level of self-reflection that's absent
Yeah, I feel like at a certain point there has to have been a sunk cost fallacy of like
It's like, well, like I'm in it now. It's like you don't have to
like
release this.
I've already like spoiler ended my engagement.
Well, obviously that there's
Yeah.
the title gives it away.
Yeah. It's like I've already ended the engagement. Well, he didn't end it. Um,
It was ended on his behalf.
it was ended, and you know, he spent all this time, done a lot of things that he regrets, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna like leave this on a hard drive somewhere for them to find after I kill myself."
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, me too.
Because that would make you seem more tragic. Because it would get released regardless, right? Like, you know, your estate would take it and then probably be like, "Oh, we could make some scratch off of that."
Yeah, a little scratch.
We like the Elvis Presley estate. You know what I'm saying? Great movie,
Mhm.
Elvis.
Mm,
Love that movie.
Debatable.
It's a fantastic film.
You know, the Monty Python sketch, the Silly Walks,
No,
the Ministry
Or
of Silly
British.
Walks. Yeah,
no, I'm
you
not.
got colonized at one point. All right, forget it. Forget it, man. Much like the Patreon episode I was discussing, I'm spitting out golden.
No, you're not. You just said, "Hey, do you remember this thing?" And I said, "No,
Yeah,
because I don't remember it." That's
well,
not
you
me
said-
shutting you down.
That's a very
It
famous,
sounds like what's going on is you're engineering a
famous
scenario.
sketch.
No, you're engineering a scenario where we have another big fight, and then you get to cut ties from the cast cleanly, blame it on me,
Cool
and then
barn
you're the
dog, yeah.
hero. You're gonna. But I've called you out on it already, so now you can't do it.
Mhm.
And I'll just say, well, you're being a little silly boy, aren't you?
That's fair.
And then everyone agrees with me.
That's totally fair. Yeah, this is like a recurring bit on the Monty Python show, I guess.
Where people walk funny. Okay, great.
It's like they're like businessmen and they walk funny.
Wow.
I didn't say it was
I
the
wish I
height
could
of
have thought.
comedy. I didn't say it was amazing. I just said it's famous. That's not my joke. I was getting to my joke. But if you don't know the reference, you're not going to appreciate it.
So then why are you still steamrolling with it?
I'm not doing the bit. I'm steamrolling you being mad.
I'm not mad.
I'm mad.
This is stupid.
I don't know. I'm
Is
a
that
little
cherry
bit.
vanilla.
It
right
is.
there?
It is the cherry vanilla Coke Zero.
Nice.
It's delicious.
Anyway, you're a little what? A little mad at me?
Yeah, I'm a little mad because I listened to that Patreon episode and I started with like what I thought was a pretty good bit that we could have riffed out, and you just instantly are like, you know what you should do? You should film this on your own time. You should just stand in front of a wall and film this for your own purposes as if it was a stand-up bit instead of including me.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I think you're gaslighting me. I don't really recall any of this.
This was a year ago.
Yeah,
I was like, what were we doing a year ago? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I get why. I get why we have negative chemistry. It's because one person has no interest in even pretending to do a bit. And that's fine. It's part of the charm.
No, I like I don't want to say improv because I hate improv, but I like
spontaneity.
Humorously, so I like the spontaneity of doing things on the fly. What I don't like is when you like have note cards and you walk up to the podcast and you're like, okay, it's time for me to do this bit that I've rehearsed, and I don't get it, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay,
they're not complicated bits. The bit I was doing, to remind everybody and to advertise the Patreon. There's a bunch of episodes free right now.
So you're advertising the Patreon on the Patreon.
This is not on the. No, I'm advertising it now.
Yeah, advertising the
divulging-
Patreon that we make no money from.
Yeah, it's free right now, but it's all old content, but it's fresh to you.
Are you only doing this because the Patreon, like you want to compete with the Doug Zone again?
No, I have no interest in
they've
reviving the
surpassed us.
Patreon.
We
That
don't
was
have
way
the
too much
time.
work. It was way too much work. Can't believe how much it was.
For
But I was
two
doing
full-time
it.
working adults, it's too much. Now, if you were not an adult, if you're a little baby who doesn't work full-time, easy to do a Patreon. Totally easy to do one.
Yeah, if you're just like a part-time worker and you're in school,
Like in a grocery store or a restaurant. I mean,
as
easy.
random examples,
Oh, those are part-time jobs, common
Yeah.
part-time jobs.
common part-time job, just a random example.
Yeah.
The bit I was doing was instead of saying good morning or good evening or good night, we just say morning, evening, and night. And we've decided as a society that the world is not good anymore.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's not funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
once you started saying it, I was like, oh yeah, I remember not liking that.
yeah, you didn't like that. And then I was
I
suggesting
still don't.
we need to walk up to somebody and be like, morning. You're just saying what time of day it is.
Yeah, I am strongly
Yeah.
remembering this bit.
Yeah?
And I didn't like it then. I don't like it now.
I mean,
I like to think I changed a lot in a year, but some
No.
things don't change.
I think
Maybe
that
you haven't changed a lot. Maybe
I
that's
have
what's
not
really
changed
going
at
on.
all. Yeah, I was like, there's something here that we could get into, but you're just like, film this on your own time. Don't-
Yeah, and I think that anti-chemistry is compelling.
yeah.
Because,
Sure.
I mean, there's so many times where it's just, two people
Mhm.
on a podcast talking. But how often is it two people on a podcast just bickering constantly? Also pretty common.
Yeah, fairly common.
Fairly common as well. But
Much like Only Murders in the Building.
now that is a show.
Much like No I and Threesome, in both, you are Ollie.
How about Only Bad Boys in the Building?
What does that look like?
Did I just name drop the episode? And
No,
because you're going to name it something else.
This one's going to be called Subscribe to Our Patreon. It's free.
No. That could be the tagline, the little
Yeah.
show
blurb.
notes or whatever it's called, but we're not naming the episode that.
No, we're not. I'm just.
Yeah, Only
being-
Murders in the Building is a good show.
It is good.
I think if you either like true crime podcasts or really if you have a podcast, makes
Yeah.
it such a better experience.
Is it a real podcast? Wouldn't that be cool? I haven't checked, but I imagine.
I also
it's
haven't
not.
checked, but I was like, I was gonna just type in the name of the show and I'd be like, wait, nope, that.
Oh, there's a behind the scenes podcast. 22 episodes. I feel like this is like not a director's cut, but like a commentary track.
Pretty much. I don't know who
Elizabeth Keener and her DIY podcasting partner talk to the
Kevin
cast and
Lawn.
crew.
Yeah, so it's just people who I guess like the show.
Yeah, and then they talk to like Steve Martin. All right.
Yeah, well, it sounds like one of
Check
those
it out.
like. It sounds like those like weekly Survivor recap and like speculation podcasts, which are all stupid and terrible. I don't see the
but what
point.
if
Like,
Jeff Probst was on those.
I mean, they sometimes even have guests that I like, and I still don't listen to them.
Yeah, but what if it was
Jeff's an
your good
idiot.
friend
He doesn't.
Ollie?
He doesn't. My good friend who?
Your good friend Ollie, Oliver Putnam.
Not to be confused with Ollie. No, I threesome. Who is not literally me. Oliver Putnam in Only Murders in the Building is literally me AF for real.
Yeah.
You're Steve Martin.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, you weren't the guy who was murdered, Tim.
Yeah, I'm not Tim. That's for sure. That's pretty true.
I forget his last name.
They
said it only a million times. I've completely forgotten it.
Tim Kono.
Tim Kono. Wow, man, how tragic was it that Tim Kono got?
Tim Kono?
Dude, who is Tim Kono? We should do like an overarching thing where we decide to do our own investigative research on a thing, but very poorly and just wildly speculate as to that could be an interesting, jumping the shark kind of moment for us in a big way. I think the fans would, they'd still listen regardless, but it'd be good.
Yeah, they're very loyal listeners. That's true.
All 10,000 of them
per day.
Huge.
Per diem. When we go back to doing crimes again, which we will do when we go back, it's going to be long form.
Are we going to go back to crimes? Or you're going to be like, oh, and by the week before we're scheduled to do it, you're like, bye, I quit.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, and I'll be like, cool, I guess I'll just do this by myself.
I'm not doing research.
No, it could be fun. If we find a recent crime that's either local to me or local to you, and we just
unsolved,
and we just go nuts about it.
Or presumed to be solved.
But maybe they didn't solve it good enough.
Yeah, you didn't solve it right. I feel like I could solve a couple crimes. I feel like we have solved a couple crimes on this podcast.
No, there's a whole Wikipedia article of unsolved Canadian crimes that we could totally mine for content.
Yeah, let's steal one of them. Whatever one has the catchiest name.
Well, the first one when I typed it in was already pretty like into Google.
Yeah.
It was called the Babes in the Woods murders.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I was like, that sounds compelling. Only bad babes crimes.
These are all murders.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the victims, pretty young victims.
Mm-hmm. Of the Babes in the Woods.
I'm just looking at the whole list.
Why don't they just call them Boys in the Woods? Maybe that sounds too cool.
Yeah, we've had many discussions about naming killers cool names. Alligator Man, for example.
The mythical, legendary Alligator Man who we've all
Shout out Alligator Man.
Heard of.
Love Alligator Man.
Like it, love it. No, gotta have it.
Yeah. The corpse of an unidentified white female between the ages of 18 to 25 years old was found in a ditch along a rural highway near Napanee, Ontario. It is believed that she was not a local resident but had been murdered elsewhere, possibly in Quebec, and dumped at this location.
Okay, here's one. It's recent.
One. No, we're going to solve that one from 1984.
No. This one happened 2020. Louis, France. He was found.
I think we got to do a girl.
Yeah, no one cares if a guy gets murdered. Yeah. But anyway, no. But hear this out.
I'm hearing.
It happened in Quebec. He was found in his car after being shot in the upper body. He died of his injuries in the hospital, of course. Some guy who's 23 years old was arrested for his murder 24 hours later. The guy who was dead had a criminal record and allegedly had ties with the Montreal Mafia.
Mafia is for real, though.
Yeah, and I would love to talk about that because I wouldn't suffer any consequences, but you might.
Yeah, because like for real.
Because I'm like, Mafia, I could get into that. That sounds fun.
They control a lot. They keep old Montreal looking nice. Do you have like old towns?
Wow. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like you have like a little Wild West area with a saloon and a sheriff's
yeah, like
office.
Tombstone.
Yeah, sure. But this is like just part of the city where like this is the part that's old. And they keep that looking nice. But the rest of Montreal is like,
They're usually called like historic whatever.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We just call them Old Town. And like every road outside of that is like constantly under construction, quote unquote. Which is like construction workers will just be there for like a week and then they'll leave with all their pylons still set up.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, you got to pay us. We're constructing that road. It's a lot of extortion on the actual government via the mafia.
It sounds like we could really bring down the Montreal Mafia. If we got into this, I think we should do it.
All right. We'll get into it. Let's start October. First episode
that's
in
too
October.
late. We're going to forget about it by then.
That's the idea.
Oh, wow. There is quite a long Wikipedia article about the Rizzuto crime family.
Mm-hmm. I believe it.
I feel like I'm kind of a traitor of my people, even referencing this, but
you're doxing their name. That's on Wikipedia.
Well, no, just as an Italian boy going after these other made men, you know.
Okay, here's something interesting.
I have a lot of allies too. That's crazy. Yeah.
The Canadian Pacific Railway train bombing from 1924. Unsolved. Ooh. Now check this out. 9 victims.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
9 doors, 9 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a reference to a video game. Anyway.
A stitch in time saves 9.
Okay, now, all right, now we're riffing.
That's a reference. W.J. Armstrong. You're like, okay, that's fine. Also, Neil Armstrong.
Wow.
Neil Armstrong died in a train accident, and then he landed on the moon.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Unlikely. So there's, I don't know what this
sounds
is.
like a DB Cooper situation, you know?
Yeah. So there's Doukhobor. I don't know how to say it. I feel like it's Doukhobor. Doukhobors. It's Russian.
Like Irkutsk.
Irkutsk. This is a Russian ethno-religious group of spiritual Christianity.
I didn't know they made such a Christianity.
Spiritual. So the government was like, I think it was these guys who bombed the train. And then those guys were like, I'm pretty sure it was the government. The real he said, she said situation. So maybe we'll solve this one. Maybe we'll get to the bottom of this bombing in 1924.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so.
I mean, it's possible. I'm not going to say I won't do it.
I'm pretty sure you won't. I'm pretty sure this is a one-time bit, and you're never going to record an episode again.
No, I'm not going to think about this ever again. But I'm not going to say I won't do it. I might solve this.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, so this is a spiritual Christian ethno-religious group of Russian origin. Regions with significant populations of these people. We got Canada and we got southern Russia. Interesting. Specifically British Columbia.
What? Like, Are they adjacent to any other form of Christianity? Like what? Because it sounds like not fake, but it sounds.
They are one of many non-Orthodox ethno-confessional faiths in Russia.
What's ethno-confessional mean? What?
Categorized as folk Protestants.
This sounds fake.
This might be a little bit fake.
It sounds like a fake religion. I think they might have. I think that they did it. The more you're talking about it, the more I think that they might have done it.
You
sounds like a cult.
You think that they bombed a train and killed 9 people, but listen to this. They're pacifist Christians.
No, that's what they want you to think.
It says right here they're pacifists. They lived in their own villages.
I can make any Wikipedia say... I could say Bob Odenkirk is not only the acclaimed director of Let's Go to Prison, but also a pacifist. I could say that.
Poor little Meow Meow.
Oh, and Better Call Saul. Oh, man. The online fan base of Better Call Saul, or rather the Breaking Bad people who also watch Better Call Saul, are stupid.
They're not watching it right.
They're literally not. I know you're saying that to make fun of me, but it's true. They're not. They're not watching it right.
I believe that you believe that. So
I don't believe. Hold on. I don't believe it. It's true. No, they get to the fucking last season, and then they're like, fucking Jimmy becomes Saul in the Breaking Bad timeline.
Jimmy.
Oh, he was also doing some fucking, but Slippin' Jimmy becomes Saul, and people are like, wow, we finally see Saul, and I can't believe it's so sad. My guys, what the fuck have you been watching? It's a sad show. It's about a guy like going through a downward spiral over like fucking 2 years. Like, what do you fucking think? It's going to be happy? You think it's going to be fun? No.
You know what? I'm reading this Wikipedia. I think it's fake.
Oh, the Russian people?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think all Russian people, I don't think they exist.
Like, the things are just so generic. They're pacifist Christians, lived in their own villages, rejected personal materialism, sure. They worked together. That's any community. They developed
a tradition. Maybe not an American community, folks. We all need to set aside our differences and work together. This is a call to action on Bad Boy Crimes.
Shout out America. They developed a tradition of oral history, memorizing hymns and singing verses.
Oh.
Yeah, different oral.
Okay. Different oral, got it.
The Doukhobors traditionally ate bread. Some of their food-related religious symbols are bread, salt, and water. Interesting. Canadians, politicians, and the media were
bread, salt, and water. Wow,
all three.
Fancy.
Canadians, politicians, and the media were deeply suspicious of the Doukhobors. Their communal lifestyle seemed suspicious. Their refusal to send children to school was considered deeply troubling, while pacifism caused anger during the First World War. So people are mad at them that they're not fighting the war. How are you not going to fight the Germans in World War I? Come on.
Yeah. Well, it's like if you have to go to war, I would be like, if I had to go to war, if I was selected to go to war, I'd be mad at someone being like, I'm not going to war because I'm a Russian pacifist that has bread and water and salt.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I have all those things too, but I have to fight. So like, fuck you.
Yeah.
There's a reason why nobody likes a draft dodger, even though like we understand that nobody wants to fight in a war and, but like play by the fucking rules. Have some honor.
Hate the draft.
People these days have no honor, no integrity, no discipline.
No, you gotta hate the draft, not the Dodger.
No, I mean you can hate both.
A lot of weirds.
Frankly, I think we should. People want to close the draft. I think we should expand the draft to everyone, and that's the only way they'll really end it.
Yeah, expand it to children, dogs, cats, schizophrenics,
Non-binary
me.
people.
I don't know about that.
That'd be funny. We're expanding the draft to be like men and women, and they're like, so non-binary people are off the table. Then, and then just everyone's a they them.
Yeah, I'd say usher in a new era. They use nudism and arson as visible methods of protest.
Arson is not pacifism. I'm sorry. What?
They're protesting.
Also, being naked is not a What are they protesting while they're nude?
Materialism. The land seizure by the government. Compulsory education in government schools.
I'm going to be naked because my kids have to go to public school. All right, yeah, man, sure.
It's kind of like,
I mean, if you want, you can homeschool them if you really want to.
Like, you know how there's fight or flight? It's like you're confronted with a thing that you don't like, and you can either fight them or you could avoid it. And then Gandhi was just like, I'm just not going to eat. And they're like, I don't know if you can do that. And this is like, I'm just not going to wear clothes. It's like Gandhi's not eating, but easier.
Yeah, but like someone somewhere is getting off to it.
Oh, absolutely. There's another section. Let me find it.
Well, wasn't Gandhi like diddling kids?
Yeah, he married like a 9-year-old.
Did he really?
I don't know. I'm saying it. He famously married a 9-year-old. Okay. Conducted nude marches and carried out nighttime arson attacks, which was considered unacceptable and offensive. Canadian magazines showed strong curiosity, giving special attention to women's bodies and clothing. So yeah, it sounds like they're getting off on it.
Okay, so I don't think when I was typing in Gandhi married a 9-year-old, it was autofilling boy after that. So that's funny. I don't think that happened. When he was 13, he married a 14-year-old. So if anything, he was pedophiled.
Okay, here's what I found.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say the website because it doesn't seem all that reputable. But
okay.
Gandhi was also called the pedophile by many in the crowd for sleeping nude with his teenage grandnieces to test the strength.
That's what I heard. Okay, so it was just
the strength of his vow of chastity. If you're like, let me test my chest. Let's see how strong I am.
Let's see how strong my will is to not do incest. Okay, buddy. Not just incest, pedophile incest.
Yeah. Like, let's look. If I'm really going to put my chastity to the test, I need a naked teenage girl in my family, in my bed.
Well, the thing is with pedophiles, you always hear them, it's always little boys.
Is it?
I guess, like, well, I don't know. You hear, like, the Hollywood ones, you know? The
like Epsteins. Michael Jackson.
Yeah, it's all about little boy. He had girls?
I thought Epstein was only girls. Michael Jackson was boys.
Michael Jackson. Oh,
Kevin
Spacey.
Proven on this. Yeah, that's boys. Proven on Bad Boy Crimes. Michael Jackson was innocent.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Proven. Michael Jackson was innocent. OJ was innocent. Prove that too. Look.
We're on the cutting edge of crime.
History will vindicate us.
History will do something to this podcast.
Feminisminindia.com says that Gandhi was not a feminist.
Who's running feminisminindia.com? I would certainly hope for someone from India, but something tells me
it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
I'll tell you the byline of this article.
Uh-huh.
Omana Pisharotti.
Is that a name?
That's a name.
Okay.
And they are quoted as saying, "I am also a staunch pussy hat wearing, card carrying, marching with a sign feminist."
What, you're wearing a pussy?
It's a pussy hat. There's a hyphen.
You wear a pussy hat?
I guess. I don't know what a pussy hat is, to be honest.
I also don't know what I'm going to type in pussy hat. I hope I don't.
Yeah, use the hyphen. You'll get
pussyhatproject.com.
Okay.
The Pussy Hat Project is a social movement focused on raising awareness about women's issue and advancing human rights. Okay. Getting patterns. Knit. Oh, what? These are just hats. Like, they're just pink hats. They don't even look like vaginas.
All right.
Crochet.
Crogay.
Wow, that's offensive.
On one instance, Gandhi responded to the rape of 2 female disciples by chopping off their hair to prevent their sexual assault in the future. I guess bald women cannot be raped.
That's not funny, but Gandhi was such a fucker, man. What a loser.
Truly one of history's greatest losers.
Maybe the Civilization games making him like a fucking war criminal weren't so wrong after all. Maybe they were trying to tell us something.
Yeah, maybe they knew. Maybe that glitch in their programming.
Yeah, maybe they. Glitch. Yeah, I think that was intentional. You can call anything a glitch.
Myers, what do you know?
I think Sid Meier himself is like, I know Gandhi personally, and if he had the nuclear codes to nukes that also India had, things would be different.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think Gandhi would nuke first, besides
Africa.
Raped women?
Just killing raped women.
He did, apparently, I mean, he didn't like them, clearly.
Yeah, rape, according to Gandhi, made the Indian woman lose her human value. He also expressed...
Wow.
That's rough.
That's bad.
He argued for segregation, denouncing Africans, and claiming the grouping together of Indians with savage Africans, that's a quote, as offensive.
Did he get that from the British imperialists, or was this like a homegrown belief?
I don't know.
I'm sure people will say like, well, I genuinely don't know. People are racist.
People are racist, and I think that's bad.
I need to look it up if a certain island off the coast of Africa was colonized.
Are you aware that Ruth Bader Ginsburg condemned Black Lives Matter?
RBG. What about Ruth Conda forever?
Really? It was Ruth Conda for like 3 months. That kid was a fucking idiot.
Yeah. I hope in the new Black Panther movie this year they find a way to incorporate Ruth Conda forever.
Yeah. When I saw that it was called Wakanda Forever, for some, like, I never saw the first one, so I was like, are they capitalizing on Ruth Bader Ginsburg, not realizing that it's the other way around?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I never saw it. Because I don't watch Marvel movies, not because of the race of people in the movie.
Honestly, that's like good. The problem with I didn't like Black Panther a whole lot, but like the more Marvel movies come out, the more it's like moving into like my top 10.
Yeah,
just because other stuff is like
it's bad.
Yeah. But I'm an Age of Ultron head, so what do I know?
I'm a big Iron Man 2 stan. With Elon Musk is in it, and
yeah, that sucks.
It's got the electric whips.
Yeah,
Who does that? Mickey good. Rourke.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Iron Man 2 since it came out.
These little beans.
I I can mention a movie without it being reasonable beef. Anyway,
I think
Gandhi.
any podcast that talks about a movie at any capacity, it's now reasonable beef, because reasonable beef doesn't exist anymore
All right,
unless a Marvel movie comes out.
I'm looking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's something that you might not be aware of, but on the internet, you can learn anything that you want.
And the best way to learn things on the internet is through Skillshare, the sponsor of today's episode. That was pretty good. I wish.
Go to Skillshare.com/badboycrimes. Just check.
Just maybe it'll work. We don't know.
We haven't checked our email. We have, badboycrimes@gmail.com. I've never looked at it, but it exists.
I've been using that to email myself stuff at work.
That sucks.
Yeah.
So you can learn anything that you want. Doesn't matter if it's true, right? You could just learn it.
You can definitely absorb
like
words and have thoughts about them.
Yeah, like
I hesitate to say information or facts.
Yeah, but you could learn.
I don't know if learning's a strong word for what a lot of the internet is.
But if you were to look up, like, you could watch a well-researched, like, well-produced documentary for 3 hours on how monkeypox is good, and it's the next step of human evolution. Like, you could learn that if you wanted to. If you just look into it, you could learn that.
And, I know some contingents who probably believe that.
Yeah. And you could also look and see that it's bad.
And it's like, it's a 50-50.
Yeah. So
it's either good or it's bad. And those are the odds.
There's no gray areas on the internet. So I looked up Gandhi is a pedophile, and that's where I found the other quotes and resources that I have shared. But now I Googled Gandhi is good. Top result. Gandhi is deeply revered, but his attitudes on race?
Yeah. Bit iffy.
Under scrutiny is how they phrase it.
Gandhi kind of fell off,
Gandhi was a racist, according to NPR.org.
It's the fault of the damn colonizers, right? Was that what I was supposed to say?
No.
Yeah. No, it's
no? Yeah, sure. I think colonizers are bad.
Yeah. Although it is funny that Japan, a famously not colonized country, also very racist.
I feel like everywhere is pretty racist.
Yeah, people are racist. I think it's just your default mode is hating things that are different from you.
Sure.
But most countries don't have to really look at it. No, not for me, because I'm superior to other humans.
Interesting. What race are you?
Well, it depends on who you ask.
You're claiming that you're superior to other people. Just checking real quick. What are you getting at?
Okay, all right. Very funny. You're being silly. Okay. Anyway, the point is, other countries don't have to reckon with other people. They don't have to reckon with the melting pot quite the way that the old US of A does. And I guess Canada is diverse. I assume everyone it's not, but Kim's Convenience has taught me that it's very diverse. So I don't know what the truth is.
We've had
because Schitt's Creek is very not.
Yeah, we've had this discussion before, and I believe I called Canada the lukewarm mug.
To the melting pot, yeah.
Yeah. The cities are diverse, and then if you leave the city for 5 minutes, you will never see another minority ever again. They're gone. In 1903, Gandhi went to South Africa and he wrote white people should be the predominating race, and black people are troublesome, very dirty, and live like animals.
He wrote that?
He wrote that in
That is
1903.
buddy.
It's the 20th century, my guy.
Yikes, dude. That's a rough one.
It's hard to come back from, to be honest.
I think Gandhi might have been not only a pedophile, but a racist pedophile.
This comes up on the first result of Gandhi is good on Google. So
maybe some people are like, and that's why he's good. Not
yeah,
me, of course, but the racist.
I think
people.
he's bad.
I think I think Gandhi honestly.
Gandhi,
I don't know.
Sucks ass.
Yeah, I mean, British imperialism, bad. Being just a shitbag human being, also bad. It's a tough call.
If I was gonna test my chastity, I wouldn't be like, you know, what's the hardest test of all time? Naked teenage family members.
Imagine if Gandhi had a smartphone.
Bad boy of the week, Gandhi.
Gandhi. People were saying there haven't been crimes on this show recently that's been bad. Well, you asked for it, and the monkey paw curls a finger.
Gandhi, you're trash.
I think Gandhi's no good, man.
Gandhi might be the worst human being to ever exist.
Well,
let's change it. Hitler, like, you know,
Gandhi.
I think Gandhi's. It might be Gandhi Hitler. You know.
Well, I'm gonna say Hitler is worse than Gandhi.
You know what? You're right. Hitler was a white man. Can't be having a white man as not the worst of all time.
What if Hitler was trans?
What if Hitler was 300 pounds?
What would that have to do with anything?
What if he was 300 pounds? How would society look at him?
I think people would look at him exactly the same.
Maybe. What if he was 400 pounds?
Probably still the same. If he was 900 pounds,
yeah,
people might look at him a little differently, but you have to get to really cartoonish levels of weight before that would happen. I think people would still think he's bad. Now, if Hitler was trans, I think there would be a very small contingent that would be, well, maybe he wasn't bad.
Well, maybe they weren't bad.
Non-binary Hitler. Wow.
Non-binary Hitler.
Yeah, what if Hitler was a they them? What would that be like?
I think that would.
I don't know. I think he'd still be bad. Personally, I think Hitler would still be bad if he was a they them. Now, would he be worse? I'm not going to answer that one.
It wouldn't necessarily bode the best for non-binary people today.
Well, you know, they already don't have it great.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
And who's to say why?
Did anyone ask Hitler his pronouns?
I mean, which historic? I'm sure because there's a lot of they thems these days, for better or for worse.
What were Hitler's
probably better? What other historical figures that were allegedly cisgender? Which ones would be they thems? At least, what non-binary? Ben Franklin, I think, would be a they them for sure. Yeah, maybe even a she they.
It's possible, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I think Ben Franklin was a closeted non-binary person.
I have some information in the form of a question.
God damn
it. So here's a question that's just in the ethos, being asked by people hither and thither.
Okay.
How true is it that Hitler refused to use the words she and her? This is just a question that people are asking.
Like Like, would he
Uh-huh.
not speak English, so he wouldn't say those words? Or are they like the German equivalent of feminine pronouns? Just
Uh,
to be clear.
I
It doesn't
don't
say.
really. It doesn't say.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that he probably refuses to do the
To
she/her
speak English.
thing or speak English, one or the other, maybe both.
Well, there's Clemens Katzer, doxed, who answered this question.
And what website are you getting this from?
Don't worry about that.
Is it
I
Quora?
look, I have
Or
his.
is it Reddit?
Look, I have his credentials right here.
Okay,
Right?
those are.
He studied at kindergarten, graduated 1975.
Kindergarten. Like, I also studied at kindergarten. I graduated in 1999.
Yeah. Well, Clemens, he says he gives it a 0.0001% chance of being true, and there's a chance. That's what he's saying. What that tells me, there's a chance.
That he refused to acknowledge just she/hers.
Mm-hmm. It is
Wow,
probably
how-
true that he did not use the words she and her, but since this would have been because he spoke no English, his failure to use them would have been prompted more by ignorance than by refusal.
Yeah, that's what I said. I instantly made that point.
Yeah, I'm just
So
reading.
I'm pretty scholarly as well, one might say.
Did Hitler
maybe-
did Hitler think in German or did he think in English?
Yeah, probably German, man. What? What kind of question is that?
I don't know, but it's in the ethos. People are asking. I'm gonna send you something.
Many people are asking this. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you something that I found in my searches. It's not worth saying out loud, but I thought I would share it with you.
Okay.
Um,
Is this the thing? This
is-
Reddit?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I can't find.
Got it.
Can't find.
It wasn't
Hitler.
even that funny, honestly.
It's not funny. It's just like that was posted this year.
Also, it was posted in our dirty jokes. It wasn't a dirty joke. It was maybe a joke in poor taste.
I don't know if it's a
It
joke.
wasn't. It was. I mean, it was. It was a. It was kind of a joke
Sure.
in the very loosest sense of the word. There was set up punch. It was a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hitler, pronouns in the air. We're not really sure.
I mean, he went to art school, so
Could be anything.
modern Hitler would have the like little sword earring.
I
You
could
know,
see that. Could definitely see
Probably some kind of nose piercing.
it. If Hitler didn't exist,
Bleached blonde hair
yeah. If Hitler didn't exist
for many reasons.
in early 1900s,
Mhm.
if he was born in I'm going to say 2001,
Yeah,
he might be famous. They might be famous on TikTok.
truly, born in the wrong era.
Yeah,
It hasn't been
I was
true
born
more
in
than
the wrong-
anybody other than Hitler.
I was born in the wrong generation, but it's Hitler. Nobody says that because they want to be born in the future. It's always, I wish I was born in 1986.
No, it's. I wish I was born in the past because I'm a TradCon weirdo. Like that's
I wish I was
what it
born in the
is.
past because I like Led Zeppelin.
or you like old music.
Nobody
when
says that.
women do it, they're
People
like,
say
I wish
that.
I was a 1950s housewife where I was lobotomized and overly medicated and didn't have
Yeah.
to do anything. and that's fine. And you're allowed to want that.
You are
'Cause
allowed
that's
to
what
want
feminism's
anything.
about.
You're allowed to want anything for yourself and yourself only.
Except for Hitler and Gandhi. They maybe shouldn't have been allowed to want some things.
Yeah. They're
I know
both
that's a hot take, but I'm known for my hot takes on this show. I think Hitler and Gandhi are both bad. I'm not going to say equally bad,
but close.
but
a little equal sign with
closer than you might have thought before this episode, let me tell you.
Maybe. A lot of our listeners are well versed in who's a bad person. I don't know if you're aware of that.
We might have some new listeners.
We might have some new listeners. Shout out the new listeners.
Yeah.
I wanted to see if like any swing music had the "born in the wrong generation" type comments.
Yeah.
They
would say like, "Oh, I was born in like the wrong generation" for like some fucking like medieval like lute playing or some shit.
Yeah,
no one says that.
Yeah, I was born in the wrong generation, and it's happy birthday. You ever think about like the first people that got recorded music?
Yeah. What about it?
I don't know. What about the people who like?
You ever think about the first people who first recorded music? No, I don't think about it.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything to say about it, I guess we'll move on.
What were you gonna say?
What I meant to ask was before people had recorded music, and it was just like you could only see music live, but like you had to be rich to see live music. You know what I mean? Like a snooty aristocrat from like the 1700s.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, yes, my favorite little ditty goes like, "Happy birthday to you."
How are they recording music? Do they have just like music boxes?
But they do live music. A little singing.
Oh, so you just make people play music for you?
Yeah, or you go to a concerto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see Stravinsky, you see Rachmaninoff, you see Franz Liszt. I was thinking of starting a social media based on contemporary composers. Can I add you to my Franz list?
Great. Good one. Nice. We did it. You did it. I didn't participate at all with that.
No. You did not. Nice. Yep. Can we agree that these songs are better subjectively than songs that we don't like as much subjectively?
Yeah, I think we can agree. That's pretty true.
So true.
But some songs are like bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Fourth of Lo-Fi, Fourth of Lo-Fi 2, and Fourth of Lo-Fi 3.
I like Fourth of Lo-Fi 3.
Really?
No, I like Fourth of Lo-Fi 2. I'm mistaken.
2's the many presidents, including Donald Trump one.
Yeah.
3 was just Biden, and 1 was just Reagan. And I'm going to have to think of something else for 4, because that's next year.
It's coming up. Fast approaching.
I got a year to work on it.
And you will do it on...
The fans clamor for 4th of Lo-Fi. I will do it the 3rd in like 10 minutes. But people they clamor for 4th of Lo-Fi.
Yeah.
Like 3 people really like it.
I'm waiting for the album.
I have enough lo-fi shit. I could make an album, but I would never do that because it's bad.
Yeah, making albums is bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a new album coming out.
Really? Well, tell us all about it.
It's about the moon.
The moon?
Yeah, it's about the moon. If you ever listen to music and it's about the moon, but nobody says anything, that's my shit. I invented that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you invented that. I
I
believe
didn't-
Majora's Mask was a thing. It's all
yeah,
about the moon, including
yeah.
the music. So sit
The
down.
music is it's more about ominous vibes.
Yeah, because of the moon crashing into the earth. It's about the moon.
Yeah, but my album's about the moon crashing into the earth, so I
It
don't.
is.
It, it might be.
So you're
Might.
just like, I'm Majora's Mask, actually.
I am because my close personal friend Coach is the Happy Mask salesman. That makes me
I forgot that we decided on the Happy Mask salesman, which is
absolutely
pretty true.
I was thinking like 3 days ago that I should Photoshop your face on the Happy
To the
Mask.
Happy Mask. Especially one where I'm like,
Yeah, should screenshot this right now.
no, let me shave before I'm the Happy Mask salesman. Because I think you could, if I shaved and didn't have my contacts, or I did have my contacts in,
Yeah,
I think you could do it in a way that would look sort of
Yeah.
almost there.
I'll polygonize you.
Yeah. Oh, that would be sick to not polygamy. That's bad. But
Bad.
polygon eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
how much am I like the Happy Mask salesman? I should change my Twitter picture to him.
You should. You should see if you can get a photo ID with the Happy Mask salesman.
Yeah.
When my brother was in
I should
college,
get a custom credit card that is just the Happy Mask salesman.
that would be sick. When my
That would
brother
be
was
kinda
in
sick.
college, you
How
had to
old's your
submit
brother?
your. Don't worry
Or
about
how
it.
much older than you? Or younger?
What are you, a cop? You're asking all these questions.
I'm just getting.
Don't worry
I'm
about
trying
me.
to get a
Worry
frame of
about you.
reference of the timeline.
He's 5 years older than me.
Okay, see that? How hard was that?
I just like being difficult.
I know. We know.
We all know. You had to send your photograph in an online portal to get your student ID card, and he sent in a picture of Zac Efron,
Mm-hmm.
and it got approved. And for 4 years, he was Zac Efron.
Nice.
Yeah. I wish I did that, but instead I just dropped out.
That's fine.
It is fine. My life's going great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, I know how your life's going. I don't need to ask.
All right.
Isn't it fun
Hey,
when I say little things like that?
So fun.
Isn't it fun?
So fun.
Aren't I a nice person?
We're good friends.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't know. Maybe I won't go to work today. We'll see. Anyway, that's the episode. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.